Back again with another video, guys. In this video I'm going to show you how to code for a program which would display all the prime numbers in a given range. For example, if the user has given us the input 300, what we are going to do at the end of this program in this video is going to display all the prime numbers that are contained within this range 1 to 300. So prime numbers are going to be like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 until it goes to 300. And also, if we want, we can also display the total number of prime numbers that are contained in this list, in this range. So I'm going to get rid of this. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the coding. So I'm going to define a variable called num, which is going to take the input from the user. And let's just say enter the number. The user is going to type in whatever number he likes or she likes, and that's going to be the integer. And I'm going to iterate as many times as the number happens to be. For example, if the number is 85, so I'm going to iterate for each and every element from 1 to 85 that are contained in this range. So for this, what I'm going to do is going to define a loop called using for loop for I in range from 1 to num plus 1. Num plus 1 because we want that number num, because this range is going to iterate from 1 to num minus 1, so we would add num plus 1, so that number is also included. I'm going to define another variable called count. I'm going to set it equal to 0, and I'm going to explain each and everything in detail, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to use another loop, for loop for j in range, and this is going to iterate for the elements in this loop. It's going to iterate for the elements for this element, so from 1 to I plus 1, because I plus 1 because we want the I, right? Because that range is going to go from 1 to whatever that number is subtracted 1, so you would add that I plus 1. And I'm going to give it a if condition. If I, when divided by j, the remainder comes out to be 0, then what I'm going to do is going to append count plus equal to 1. I'm going to add in count plus equal to 1, and each and every time it comes out of this for loop, this count is going to be set 0, and this count is going to be set 0. And now I'm going to do this. This is the secret recipe of this program. If count equal to 2, and I'm going to print hey. So whenever the count is equal to 2, I'm going to go out of this for loop, and I'm going to print I. And each and every time it goes out of this for loop, the count is set to 0. And and for this, and it's going to iterate this many times. And for example, if you want to display the total number of prime numbers, I'm going to define another variable. Let's call totes. Okay, so I'm gonna just go at the start of this program, and I'm going to set another variable called totes. Let's just set it equal to 0, and it's going to display me the number of prime numbers contained in the range. Okay, in the range. And now I'm gonna go over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add totes, modify my totes as follows, and I'm going to get out of this nested loop, so to speak. Okay, and I'm going to print the total number of prime numbers up to the number the user has typed in. Okay, the total number of prime numbers. Wait. Prime numbers up to whatever that number happens to be for you, and that is going to be user defined, right? So num is totes, and this is done. And let's see what this program is going to look like when I execute this. And so I'm going to type in 10. Okay, so it has given me the output as follows: 2, 3, 5, 7, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 prime numbers in the range 1 to 10. And I'm going to explain why is this so. So what I have done is I'm going to define a variable called num. It's going to give me the input from the user, and I have used the nested for loop. The outer for loop is for mm, the uh, the iteration. For example, the user has typed in 10, so 10 is going to come in here. So this is going to be repeated 10 times, and 10 times, and each time the count is set to 0, and this is going to come inside this for loop. For the first iteration, the range is set to 1 and it's going to repeat one time. So for 10 times, so it's going to go from 1, then 1 1 2, then 1 2 3, then 1 2 3 4, then 1 2 3 4 5. Then each time it's going to compare these results, these conditions. If iteration I, when it is divided by j, when it comes out to be 0, then I would modify my count by 1, which I have set in here 0. And when this count, I'm going to come out of this loop, and I have this defined another if condition to if that count, when this has done checking, and now I have come out of this loop. Now if the count is equal to 2, if that number is divisible by only 2 numbers, then I'm going to print that iteration I, the number itself, for this loop out in front. And I'm going to modify my dots as follows, which is going to keep track of the total number of prime numbers in this program. So that was it. Hope you guys liked it, and if you guys did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.